Presenting the CW Crew.
Steve, thank you so much for being with us here at the CW Twin Cities.
Very happy to be here, thank you.
Tell us about this guy.
Well, I was fortunate enough to be able to keep Kermit going for about 30 years after Jim Henson passed away. He was the original Kermit, and I worked with Jim for about 12 years, and so at that point I was asked to try to do this character. Hard thing to step into, but really a privilege in my life.
How did you get involved with it? Were you doing behind-the-scenes stuff before?
I actually started working with Jim in the 70s when I was about 18. So before that, I was kind of in high school. It wasn't much going on there. Mm-hmm. And I was a huge fan back when there was no internet, and was able to get an audition with Jim. He was looking for a couple of new people. I was one of them.
For voices?
For puppeteering.
Oh, okay.
Well, voices as well.
Sure.
But it's funny, people think that it's like animation and that we do the voice and somebody else does the puppetry.
You're doing it live.
We always do both. Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. So we do the puppetry as well as the voices.
Cool, so you're just like crouched down here?
Something like that. I spent a lot of time under tables and crunched at the bottom of cars.
Yeah, swearing at directors as they're telling you things.
Yes, yeah, a little bit, under my breath. No, but it's great fun. It's a cool thing, and it's, these days there's so much CGI which can do so many things, but this is a more practical way of doing characters.
The real thing's better.
I like it myself.
Practical, right?
Practical, keep it practical.
Yes, it looks so much better.
You put your hands on it.
Yes.
Yes.
So how was it, how hard was it? I mean, you took this voice that somebody else created, and you just had to seamlessly keep it going.
Well, I did the best I could. Jim was so identified with Kermit, and his voice was so identified, and I kept it as close as I could. What was really important was that I had worked with Jim for about a dozen years, and because I knew him, I knew who the character was, and the character was so important that once I sort of began to feel that, the voice began to come more naturally, But it was really important to keep Jim's influence in that character. He was so known.
Was it hard to also, you're not only becoming a puppeteer and a voiceover artist, but you have to be able to sing. Did you know how to sing before, or is this, did you just pick it up?
I had kind of a musical ear. And music sort of went hand in hand with everything the Muppets did from the Muppet Show days back in the 70s when we all started. So it just came along with the territory. Sometimes with the Muppets, it's not about whether you can sing well, it's just about getting it out there because there's so much character in the voices that we can get away with hitting a wrong note every once in a while,
Yeah, and a lot of rock stars, they might have like a flock of ladies behind them.
Yes.
You got this guy right here. Can we get a shot of that guy?
Yeah, swing it around there.
What's that like?
Well, it's flattering. My God, so many people come in and they have their Kermit impression or their Kermit voice, or a costume like this.
Yeah.
It spans so many generations, and I think that's what I always loved about being a part of it the most. Grandparents, parents, young kids, they all know these characters, and they share them and pass them along.
Do you have one of those at home?
One like that?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna try to buy that off him.
All right. How often do you break out the voice when you're just around people just to freak them out if they don't know?
I don't do it very much. It's a funny thing. It really is the division between me and him is pretty easy to keep separated, Mm-hmm. And the voices they really come when we put the characters on. Mm-hmm. It wasn't about doing the voice separately. So it was about, as soon as we put the puppet on, the voice kind of happens.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, Steve, thank you so much,
yes,
a.k.a. Kermit the Frog.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Good
Honor
to talk to you. Thank you so much.
The CW Crew on the CW Twin Cities, DJ Bonix, Alexa Score, and John Foss. Like, follow, subscribe to, and love the CW Crew.